Real Truth of Being Silent. Denzel Washington Motivation, Stoicism. Hey everyone, welcome back to Stoic in Your Life. Today we're diving into the real truth of being silent. In a world that never stops talking, silence can feel like a rare luxury, but it's so much more than just the absence of noise. Silence is a powerful tool, one that can help you tap into your true potential and unlock growth in ways you might not expect. When we choose to be silent, we're not just stepping away from the distractions around us, we're making space for clarity, peace, and self-discovery. In our fast-paced, constantly connected lives, it's easy to lose touch with who we are and what really matters. But silence gives us a chance to reconnect. It allows us to listen, not just to the world, but to our own thoughts, our deeper desires, and even the quiet voice within that guides us. This is where we find our true strength, our true direction. And it's not just about being still to reflect, it's about being still enough to observe, to truly see the world around us, the beauty of small moments, the kindness of others, and the things we often take for granted. How can silence change the way you live? Stick with me, and let's explore how embracing silence can help you build a life of purpose and resilience. Don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts as we go. Let's start this journey together. Number 1. Silence is a mental state. In today's fast-paced world, silence is often seen as uncomfortable or even undesirable. We're constantly surrounded by noise, whether it's the buzz of notifications, the endless stream of news and social media, or the demands of our daily responsibilities. This constant bombardment has become the norm, and silence is often avoided or feared. But true silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's a state of mind, a conscious decision to disconnect from the external noise and distractions. In a world that constantly pulls us in every direction, silence offers a rare chance to restore mental clarity. The modern world is one of constant noise, digital, social, emotional, and physical. The rapid pace of life leaves little room for stillness or contemplation. As a result, our ability to hear our own thoughts is compromised, and we become more disconnected from our inner selves. The endless notifications and the stream of information prevent us from reflecting on our true desires, values, and emotions. Silence, then, becomes not just a retreat, but a profound and necessary practice. It's in these moments of quiet that we can reconnect with ourselves and our emotions. Silence is not just the absence of sound, it's the active removal of distractions so we can tune in to our inner world. When we embrace silence, we give ourselves permission to reflect, to understand our deeper needs, and to confront our fears. In these quiet moments, our thoughts begin to settle, and we gain clarity. Without external noise, we can see our actions more clearly, process emotions we might otherwise overlook, and reflect on our past. The more we practice silence, the more we strengthen our ability to listen, not just to others, but to ourselves. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Silence is a tool for listening, both to the world around us and to the voice within. The power of silence lies in its ability to clear the mind. When we silence the chatter, we allow ourselves to think more deeply and reflect on our actions. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to react without thought, to respond automatically to demands around us. But silence offers us a break from this automatic mode. It creates space to assess situations, make thoughtful decisions, and reflect on our true intentions. Often, it's in these moments of quiet reflection that we have our best ideas and insights. These breakthroughs come from giving our minds the space to think clearly and deeply. In a world that values productivity and constant motion, silence may seem counterproductive or even lazy. But silence is not about avoiding the world, it's about engaging with it more meaningfully. Silence is a powerful practice that allows us to approach life from a place of inner peace. It takes strength to step away from the noise, to disconnect from the distractions around us and to simply be still. When we embrace silence, we aren't retreating from life. We're creating space to interact with the world more wisely and intentionally. The ability to find stillness amidst chaos is a sign of emotional strength and self-control. Modern Stoicism encourages us to adopt silence as a regular practice. In a society that prioritizes noise and constant activity, silence is an invaluable tool. It allows us to regain control over our minds and emotions. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Silence is where we can cultivate the quality of our thoughts. It is in these moments of stillness that we confront our inner turmoil, process our feelings, and make decisions that reflect our deepest values, not the pressures of the outside world. By embracing silence, we also create the opportunity for personal growth. Silence allows us to reflect on our actions and experiences, learn from our mistakes, and grow stronger. It is through silence that we gain the perspective needed for transformation. In these quiet moments, we see where we have fallen short and where we have succeeded. It is only when we allow ourselves the space to be still that we can gain the clarity needed to make better choices in the future. In the modern world, silence is more important than ever. The constant distractions and pressures make it easy to lose touch with ourselves. But by intentionally creating moments of silence, we can reconnect with our true selves, regain clarity, and approach life with greater wisdom. Silence allows us to step back from the chaos and engage with the world in a more thoughtful, deliberate, and grounded way. It brings peace to the mind, strength to the spirit, and clarity to our decision-making. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Silence allows us to quiet the imagination, to see things as they truly are, and to act with purpose and clarity. Through silence, we transform our lives by reconnecting with our inner wisdom and finding peace amidst the noise of the world. Number 2, silence connects you with yourself. Silence is more than just a retreat from the noise of the world. It's a powerful tool that connects us with our true selves. In our modern world, where distractions are constant and expectations weigh heavily, it's easy to lose touch with who we really are. We get caught up in external pressures, in the rush to meet deadlines, and in the endless cycle of busyness. Yet, it is in the moments of quiet that we find the space to reconnect with the essence of who we are. Silence gives us the chance to tune out the noise and tune into ourselves, to listen to that inner voice we often ignore. Think of it as a pause, a moment to reflect on your actions, your desires, and your long-term goals. Denzel Washington, whose wisdom often resonates with the deep principles of Stoicism, frequently talks about the importance of checking in with yourself, of taking time to reflect on where you are and where you're going. In those moments of silence, you become more aware of what you need to change, what you need to nurture, and what you need to let go of. Silence is where personal growth starts. It's where we take a step back to assess our strengths and weaknesses, to notice the gaps in our lives, and to determine the next best step on our journey. But it's not just about reflecting, it's about understanding. When we embrace silence, we allow ourselves the mental space to process our emotions, understand our reactions, and make decisions that are true to who we are, not based on external pressures. In this stillness, we begin to hear the whispers of our authentic selves, guiding us toward better choices, clearer paths, and stronger resolutions. Silence becomes the foundation on which our inner strength is built. It's where the seeds of wisdom, patience, and self-awareness are sown, allowing us to grow and evolve. By making silence a regular part of our lives, we create a practice of prioritizing our mental and emotional well-being, which ultimately enables us to face life's challenges with greater clarity and calm. Consider how often you find yourself overwhelmed by external noise, whether it's the constant stream of notifications on your phone, the pressures from work, or even the chatter in your own mind. These distractions are everywhere. But what would happen if, for just a few moments each day, you intentionally embraced silence? What could you learn about yourself? Could you uncover the reasons behind your actions? Could you recognize areas where you're holding yourself back or ways you've been neglecting your mental health? Just like how a gardener tends to the soil before planting, silence prepares your mind for growth. It cultivates space for introspection, allowing you to understand your emotions, desires, and ambitions with greater depth. Think of silence as a tool in the Stoic toolbox, a Stoic secret, if you will, that allows you to detach from the external world long enough to reconnect with your inner values. As the Stoics believed, true wisdom doesn't come from being busy or constantly striving to meet others' expectations. It comes from the ability to turn inward and reflect on one's own thoughts, actions, and desires. The ancient philosopher Seneca famously said, "No man was ever wise by chance." Wisdom, like strength, is cultivated through intentional effort, and that effort begins with silence. Consider the story of the successful entrepreneur who, after years of working tirelessly to grow his business, found himself feeling lost and disconnected. Despite his outward success, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. One evening, after a particularly draining day, he decided to disconnect from all distractions, no phone, no emails, no social media, and simply sat in silence. Over the course of the evening, he reflected on his life, his goals, and his deepest motivations. What he realized was eye-opening. He had been chasing success based on others' definitions of it, not his own. He had been so focused on meeting external expectations that he had lost touch with his true purpose. That evening of silence marked a turning point in his life. He began to take action, aligning his business and personal life with his values and passions. This story highlights a critical lesson. Silence gives us the space to assess our lives from a place of clarity, free from the noise and distractions of the world. When we listen to ourselves, when we embrace silence, it helps us realign with what truly matters and make decisions that lead to growth, fulfillment, and lasting success. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you truly took a moment of silence to reflect on your life? When did you last check in with yourself, without any distractions or external influences? What did you discover in those moments of stillness? These are the questions that help you unlock the Stoic secret of silence, unlocking the clarity, wisdom, and self-awareness that lies within you. Silence isn't an absence, it's a presence that connects you to your most authentic self. By prioritizing silence, you begin to create the mental and emotional space necessary to face life's challenges with grace and strength, just like a Stoic philosopher would. And in doing so, you can walk through life with greater clarity, resilience, and purpose. When you embrace silence, you embrace your true self. It's not about avoiding the world. It's about taking a moment to step back, reflect, and reconnect. And through that practice, you'll find the strength to move forward, aligned with your deepest values and inner wisdom. This is the real truth of silence. Number 3. Silence helps you observe. In a world that is constantly demanding our attention, silence is often overlooked or feared. Social media platforms, the endless chatter of conversations, and the rush of modern life leave little room for quiet reflection. Yet silence, as modern Stoicism teaches us, is not emptiness. It is a powerful tool for personal growth and clarity. Denzel Washington often emphasizes the importance of pausing before reacting, of stepping back to reflect, reminding us that silence is an invitation to clarity. In moments of stillness, we can see the world more vividly, understand situations more deeply, and respond with greater wisdom. Silence offers us a rare opportunity to step outside the rush of words and impulses, allowing us to gather unspoken truths that often remain hidden in the noise of constant communication. In this space, we can notice things we might have missed, subtle cues, emotional tones, or unspoken signals that reveal true feelings and thoughts. These unnoticed dynamics provide invaluable insights. By embracing silence, we start perceiving the full spectrum of reality, not just surface-level interactions. Silence allows us to gain perspective, seeing things as they are, not through the lens of immediate reactions. Choosing silence over impulsive responses creates space to process and evaluate, leading to decisions that are thoughtful and aligned with our true values. This principle is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Epictetus reminds us, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listening is an active practice, one that requires us to observe and absorb without jumping to conclusions. In a fast-paced world, it's easy to feel compelled to respond immediately, but when we pause, we create the space to understand fully, read between the lines, and gain insight into others' emotions and motivations. Silence does not imply passivity. Rather, it is an active engagement with the present moment. By stopping to listen, we tune in to what is truly happening, hearing truths that words often obscure. In personal relationships, silence becomes a tool for empathy. When we remain silent, we allow others to speak freely, to express themselves without interruption. This simple act of stepping back creates deeper connections, as we listen not only to the words but to the emotions behind them. Silence is a gesture of respect for others' perspectives, fostering growth both for them and for us. Marcus Aurelius's Stoic wisdom, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice," reflects the practice of responding with thoughtfulness, not reacting impulsively to the actions of others. In relationships, silence gives us the space to reflect before responding, helping us make decisions that are measured and composed. Choosing silence can transform reactive tendencies into mindful, thoughtful actions. In the professional world, silence can be just as powerful. Whether in meetings, negotiations, or everyday work conversations, silence is a strategic asset. Listening more than speaking helps us attune to others' needs and identify opportunities that may not be obvious. Often, those who speak the least understand the most. By observing the unspoken elements of a conversation, body language, tone, and pauses, we can make more informed decisions. Silence helps us stay grounded, avoiding hasty decisions driven by external pressures. Seneca's reminder, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it," encourages us to use our time wisely. Silence, when used intentionally, allows us to make thoughtful decisions instead of rushing into reactions based on urgency or pressure. Embracing silence in modern life is challenging, especially with constant stimulation from technology, work, and social media. However, the benefits of silence are profound. When we stop to listen, we deepen our understanding, strengthen our relationships, and make more thoughtful decisions. Modern Stoicism encourages us to adopt silence as a discipline for cultivating wisdom, mindfulness, and resilience in the face of life's challenges. By practicing silence, we learn to see the world clearly, connect authentically with others, and respond with wisdom. As Denzel Washington wisely puts it, "The time you spend in silence can help you see the truth of any situation, making your response not just instinctive but truly wise." This is the essence of observing before reacting, a fundamental Stoic practice. In embracing silence, we unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world, leading to a life of greater peace and clarity. Do you believe that taking time for silence can truly help you reconnect with your inner self and make better decisions in life? Comment yes if you agree, or no if you think silence isn't as important as it seems. And don't forget to watch till the end. There's a surprise waiting for you that could change the way you view silence forever. Number 4. Silence fosters deeper connection. In today's fast-paced world, there's often a misconception that silence equates to avoidance or indifference. Many of us are conditioned to believe that silence signifies withdrawal, a lack of interest, or even an inability to engage. However, the true power of silence lies in its ability to foster deeper, more meaningful connections. Silence is not about retreating into ourselves, but rather about creating space. Space for reflection, for understanding, and for truly connecting with those around us. Denzel Washington frequently speaks about the importance of quiet moments in communication, noting that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do in a conversation is simply to listen. Silence in this sense is not an absence of words, but an active and deliberate choice to absorb what others are saying and to respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. In the realm of communication, silence is a tool that allows us to listen more deeply and to connect with the essence of what is being shared. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This ancient wisdom resonates strongly today, reminding us that silence is not a void, but a space for deeper understanding. When we choose silence in a conversation, we are not merely stepping back from speaking. We are creating a moment for the other person to be heard. In doing so, we demonstrate respect and empathy, which are foundational elements of any genuine relationship. Whether in a personal or professional setting, being silent often allows the other person's words to sink in more profoundly. Instead of filling the conversation with our own thoughts and responses, we allow the other person the space to express themselves fully, creating a non-verbal bond that speaks volumes. Silence, then, becomes a form of active communication, a reflection of our attentiveness and presence. This is especially true in moments of conflict or tension, where silence can serve as a powerful tool to de-escalate the situation. Rather than rushing to respond or retaliate with words, taking a moment to pause and embrace silence can give us the clarity needed to gain perspective. In these moments, silence offers us the opportunity to reflect on our emotions and thoughts, allowing us to avoid saying something in haste that we might later regret. This deliberate pause fosters a space where deeper understanding can emerge, preventing further escalation and creating room for empathy and reconciliation. It is through silence that we often find the strength to resist the urge to react and instead respond from a place of wisdom and consideration. Silence, therefore, is not a retreat from the world, but an invitation to engage with it more thoughtfully and consciously. It is a way of showing respect to others, not by filling the air with words, but by making room for them to be heard. By embracing silence in our interactions, we allow ourselves to connect more authentically, to listen with empathy, and to understand on a deeper level. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the importance of mastering our own reactions and emotions, and silence plays a crucial role in this practice. When we can remain silent in moments of tension or conflict, we are exercising control over our impulses and choosing a path of calm, reflection, and deeper connection. The Stoics believed that our ability to choose how we respond to external events is where true power lies. In today's world, where the pressure to react quickly and constantly is overwhelming, the practice of silence becomes an essential tool for maintaining emotional balance and fostering stronger, more authentic relationships. By embracing the power of silence, we open ourselves up to the possibility of deeper connection, not just with others, but with ourselves. It is through silence that we can hear our own inner voice, reflect on our actions, and connect with the wisdom within. As Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, once said, "Silence is a lesson learned from the many, not from the few." Silence, then, is not just about what we choose not to say. It is about creating a space where deeper communication, understanding, and connection can flourish. It is in these moments of stillness that we discover the true depth of our relationships and the profound impact of truly listening. Number 5. Silence shields your emotions. Silence has an incredible power that many of us overlook. Life is filled with chaos, people, situations, and emotions that can easily pull us into a whirlwind of negativity. Whether it's a heated argument, a stressful situation, or an unexpected challenge, our emotions can quickly get the best of us. But here's the truth. Silence acts as a shield. protecting us from the storm of external pressures and emotional turbulence. In those moments of stress when everything around us seems overwhelming, silence gives us the precious pause we need to gather our thoughts and maintain control. It creates a space where we can breathe, take a step back, and decide how we want to respond. This is when silence becomes a true weapon, because it allows us to prevent ourselves from reacting impulsively. How often do you find yourself caught up in a situation, reacting in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later? If you had paused, if you had taken a moment of silence, could things have played out differently? Denzel Washington often speaks about the importance of staying calm in the face of adversity. He emphasizes that this calmness isn't about avoiding conflict or suppressing emotions, but about understanding the power of silence. In his own life, Denzel has learned that silence allows us to maintain emotional balance, giving us the mental space to respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. This is one of the Stoic secrets, mastering silence as a way to guard our emotions, preserve our peace, and make more deliberate, intelligent choices. Silence creates that vital moment of clarity, allowing us to separate ourselves from the noise and focus on what truly matters. When we're able to remain composed, we are less likely to be drawn into unnecessary arguments or confrontations that would otherwise drain our energy. Think about this. How often do you engage in situations where you know your emotions might get the best of you, but instead of reacting immediately, you choose silence? That silence gives you a moment to breathe, to assess, and to preserve your emotional energy. It's in these moments that you find your true strength. Consider the story of a young professional who, in the middle of a heated meeting, was faced with criticism from a senior colleague. The pressure to respond immediately was high. Anger, frustration, and defensiveness began to rise. But instead of reacting, he chose silence. He paused, took a deep breath, and allowed the moment to pass. This silence gave him time to regain control, and when he finally spoke, his response was calm, measured, and insightful. Not only did this preserve his emotional balance, but it also earned him the respect of his colleagues. The lesson here is clear. Silence isn't passive. It's a powerful tool that allows you to act with emotional intelligence and awareness, helping you navigate challenges without being swept away by negativity. How can you use silence to shield your emotions in your own life? When faced with conflict or stress, can you choose to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively? Silence, when practiced with intention, becomes one of the greatest tools in maintaining emotional equilibrium. It allows you to filter out the noise and distractions of the outside world and focus on what truly matters. The more you embrace silence in these situations, the more you begin to embody one of the core Stoic secrets, the power to control your emotional responses regardless of the circumstances. Silence gives you that space to stay grounded, to reflect, and to respond in a way that aligns with your values. So the next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, remember the power of silence. It's not about avoiding the situation or suppressing your feelings. It's about protecting your emotional well-being, giving yourself the time to respond thoughtfully, and avoiding unnecessary conflict. This practice of silence is what helps you navigate life's challenges with clarity, calmness, and emotional intelligence. Silence isn't just a tool for peace. It's the path to emotional mastery, the gateway to responding to life with resilience and grace. Number 6. Silence maintains composure. In our daily lives, we are often overwhelmed by stress, conflict, and negativity, whether at work, in relationships, or just from the constant noise around us. It's easy to be swept up by emotions, reacting impulsively to criticism, setbacks, or frustration. However, one of the most powerful Stoic secrets is the idea that silence can shield our emotions, protecting us from external chaos. Silence isn't just about staying quiet. It's about taking control of our inner world. In moments of tension or stress, rather than allowing ourselves to be pulled into negative reactions, silence provides a space to pause, By choosing silence, we give ourselves the chance to gather our thoughts, breathe, and respond with composure. This pause is an active choice, helping us shield ourselves from emotional volatility. Think about the last time you were in a heated situation. Did you feel the urge to react immediately? What would have happened if you had taken a moment of silence instead of diving in head first? This brief pause helps us filter out the noise and focus on what really matters: our response, our values, and our ability to handle the situation with grace. Denzel Washington, in many of his motivational speeches, encourages people to remain calm and centered when faced with life's challenges. He emphasizes the importance of pausing before reacting, giving yourself that moment to regain control of your emotions. Washington understands that in emotional turmoil, silence is a source of strength. Like the Stoics believed, silence offers clarity. By distancing ourselves from emotional reactions, we create space for a more thoughtful and measured response. This brief reflection allows us to assess situations clearly, preventing anger or frustration from taking over. Instead of reacting impulsively, we choose a response that aligns with our values, one that brings calm instead of chaos. Silence helps us remain rooted, much like a stone in a fast-moving river that remains steady despite the rush around it. Picture yourself in a heated conversation, perhaps with a friend, family member, or coworker. As tensions rise, you feel the urge to react, but instead, you remember the power of silence. Rather than letting your emotions control you, you decide to hold your words for a moment. In that silence, your heart rate slows, your thoughts come together, and you begin to think more clearly. This pause shields you from saying something you might regret or escalating the conflict further. By stepping back, you regain control and emotional balance. How often do you give yourself the space to breathe before responding to stressful situations? How many times has reacting impulsively led to regret? Silence allows us to filter those immediate urges, enabling us to step back, observe, and choose how we want to respond thoughtfully rather than react in the heat of the moment. This practice of using silence as a shield aligns with the Stoic wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who once said, "How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only to what he does himself." By focusing inward and embracing silence, we protect our peace, avoiding the judgments and negativity of others. This Stoic secret teaches us that emotional stability comes from turning our attention away from external noise and focusing on how we choose to respond. It's not what others do to us, but how we handle it that defines our peace of mind. In today's fast-paced world, where everyone has an opinion and social media often amplifies conflict, silence helps us stay unaffected by the storm. It preserves our emotions and ensures our responses are deliberate and measured. In professional settings, silence plays a similar role. During meetings, negotiations, or challenging work situations, it's easy to feel provoked. But choosing silence in these moments keeps us composed, preventing rash reactions that could damage relationships or reputations. Think about a time when a colleague criticized your work or a client made an unreasonable request. Did you respond immediately, or did you pause to gather your thoughts? Silence gives us the space to assess the situation objectively before responding emotionally. In those moments, we can remember the wisdom of Seneca, who said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery of our emotions, especially in stressful times, is a true freedom. Silence helps us practice this mastery, enabling us to navigate challenges with emotional intelligence and clarity. In a world where instant reactions are expected, silence offers a rare opportunity to pause. Whether it's responding to emails, comments on social media, or family disagreements, we are often encouraged to react immediately. But real strength lies in choosing silence when necessary. How often do you feel pressured to speak or react instantly? And how often do you pause instead? Silence is not about shutting down or withdrawing. It's about protecting your inner calm, filtering out distractions, and responding with emotional intelligence instead of impulsivity. It's a practice worth cultivating. The next time you feel your emotions rising, give yourself the gift of silence. Just a few seconds can shift everything. helping you avoid unnecessary conflict and preserving your peace of mind. Silence is a powerful shield for your emotions. It allows you to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully in stressful situations. The Stoic secrets teach us that mastering silence in times of turmoil is key to emotional stability. By embracing silence, we gain control over our reactions, protect our emotional balance, and learn to face life's challenges with wisdom. Silence is not weakness, it's a tool for strength. By choosing to pause, reflect, and respond with emotional intelligence, you protect your peace and become the master of your emotions. If you've found these insights on silence empowering, leave a comment below. Silence is strength. Make sure to watch till the end of the video because we've got even more valuable content coming your way, especially the part about how silence is the ultimate key to success. It will definitely surprise you. Silence for success. Number 1. Silence sparks creativity. In today's hyper-connected world, silence is often undervalued, but it holds a profound power that can unlock creativity and innovation. Silence creates the mental space necessary for us to reflect, to step back, and to allow our thoughts to wander freely without the constant distractions of the outside world. This quiet space is where our minds can truly flourish, free from the noise of daily life, and where the seeds of creativity are sown. Denzel Washington has often spoken about the importance of silence in fostering creativity, stressing that when we listen to our inner voice and give ourselves the time to think without interruption, that's when true creativity emerges. In the rush of constant activity, our thoughts become fragmented, and we are often too busy reacting to the world around us to tap into our creative potential. But when we embrace silence, we give ourselves permission to pause and reflect, to make connections, and to see the world in new and innovative ways. Silence, then, becomes an essential tool for unlocking the creative power within us. Just as the Stoic philosopher Seneca remarked, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." In our fast-paced world, we are often so caught up in the pressure to act, do, and achieve that we forget the value of stillness and reflection. By embracing silence, we can harness the full potential of our minds, taking the time to think deeply and creatively. It's in moments of silence that we gain the perspective needed to solve problems that once seemed insurmountable. Often it is when we stop trying to force solutions and allow ourselves to simply be still that we stumble upon the breakthrough ideas that elude us during busy, active periods. When our minds are free from external distractions, they have the space to explore new possibilities, consider different perspectives, and make unexpected connections. In modern life, the pressure to constantly be active, to constantly produce, and to constantly be engaged with others often stifles our ability to think creatively. Social media, emails, meetings, and endless streams of information bombard us every day, leaving little room for quiet moments of reflection. However, silence can be seen as a deliberate act of self-care and personal growth. By intentionally carving out time to be silent, we give ourselves the opportunity to nurture our creativity, to step away from the noise, and to connect with our deeper selves. Creativity does not thrive in chaos. It requires space, peace, and stillness. The ability to be comfortable with silence is an essential skill in the modern world, one that can help us unlock new ideas, innovative solutions, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our surroundings. The key to this kind of creative silence lies in the willingness to embrace stillness and to trust that the answers will come, not through relentless effort, but through patience and reflection. The Stoics taught us that our ability to remain calm, composed, and centered amidst external turmoil is a true measure of inner strength. In modern Stoicism, silence serves as a powerful practice for cultivating this inner tranquility and harnessing our creative potential. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This principle can be applied to creativity as well. when we remove the constant distractions and allow ourselves to sit with a problem in silence. The very silence that may feel like an obstacle becomes the space in which new solutions are born. Silence becomes the fertile ground where creativity can grow and flourish. When we silence the constant chatter of our minds, we create an environment where true creative thinking can emerge. This is why many successful individuals, like Denzel Washington, emphasize the importance of quiet moments in their work and personal lives. They understand that the best ideas, the most profound solutions, and the deepest insights come when we allow ourselves to step away from the noise and simply be present with our thoughts. Silence allows us to access the well of creativity that resides within us, offering us the freedom to think without boundaries, to explore new ideas, and to push the limits of what we thought was possible. This process of creative reflection is not a passive one, but an active engagement with our thoughts and ideas. It's in the stillness that we find our greatest opportunities for growth and innovation. Silence is not just the absence of sound. It is the presence of deep thought, clarity, and insight. In today's chaotic world, we must recognize silence as an invaluable resource for creativity and problem-solving. The true power of silence lies in its ability to provide the mental space we need to reflect, to listen to our inner voice, and to connect with the deeper truths within us. It is through this silence that we can unlock new levels of creativity and approach the challenges of life with a fresh perspective. As we embrace the practice of silence, we create the conditions for our minds to generate new ideas, solve complex problems, and ultimately grow in ways we may never have imagined before. Silence, when used intentionally, becomes a powerful ally in the pursuit of creativity and personal growth. In the world of modern Stoicism, silence is not merely an absence, but a gateway to a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. By embracing the power of silence, we can open up new pathways to creative and personal success. Number 2, silence promotes self-awareness. Silence holds a powerful secret, one that many overlook in the noise of everyday life. In a world filled with constant distractions, it's easy to lose track of who we really are, what we truly want, and where we are headed. But when we embrace silence, we create the perfect environment for self-awareness, which is the cornerstone of personal growth. Think about it. In those quiet moments, away from the buzzing notifications, the chatter of others, and the pressure to perform, we are given the rare opportunity to reflect deeply on ourselves. Who are we really? What do we want from life? And why? Denzel Washington often talks about the importance of knowing yourself, about understanding your core values and the principles that guide your actions. This is the foundation for everything, because when you truly know yourself, you are empowered to make choices that align with your true purpose. Silence provides the space for this kind of reflection, allowing us to step back and evaluate where we've been, where we are, and where we want to go. Without this stillness, it's easy to drift through life, reacting to external circumstances rather than responding thoughtfully to our internal desires and goals. Think about the last time you took a moment to sit in silence and reflect. No distractions, no obligations, just time with your thoughts. What did you discover? Did you learn something new about yourself? Could you identify patterns in your behavior that you might want to change? These insights are invaluable, and they don't come from noise or busyness. They come from silence. By giving ourselves the space to reflect, we can gain a clear understanding of our strengths, our weaknesses, and the areas in which we need to improve. This is one of the Stoic secrets, the practice of self-awareness through introspection. It's in these quiet moments that we confront our mistakes, acknowledge our fears, and identify the changes necessary to become the best version of ourselves. But it's not just about identifying flaws. It's also about recognizing the things we've done well, the strengths that we can build on, and the qualities that make us unique. When you are silent and truly listen to your inner voice, you uncover truths that may have been buried beneath the noise of daily life. Now, Consider the story of a young professional, fresh out of college, who was hustling to climb the corporate ladder. Every day was filled with meetings, emails, and tasks, yet something didn't feel right. Despite his success on paper, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was chasing the wrong goals. He had never taken the time to truly reflect on what mattered most to him. So one evening he decided to step away from everything. No phone, no laptop, no distractions. Just silence. In those quiet moments, he started asking himself the tough questions. Why am I doing this? What is my real purpose? And it was in that silence that he realized he was pursuing success based on other people's expectations, not his own values. This revelation was a turning point. He reevaluated his career and life goals and began taking more intentional steps toward what truly fulfilled him. This story shows the power of silence for self-awareness. It gave him the clarity he needed to make profound changes in his life. By embracing silence and reflecting on his life, he unlocked the Stoic secret of self-awareness, which in turn allowed him to pursue a path that was authentic and meaningful. How can you use silence to promote self-awareness in your own life? When was the last time you truly give yourself the space to reflect on your actions, your values, and your goals? By creating regular moments of silence, you can uncover deep insights that will guide your decisions and shape your personal growth. Silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's a tool for connecting with your true self. It's the gateway to understanding who you are, what drives you, and how you can improve. As you embrace this practice, you will find that your decisions become more aligned with your inner values. Your actions become more intentional, and your growth accelerates. This is the real truth of silence. It's not just about stepping away from the noise. It's about stepping into yourself. It's in the quiet moments that we learn to listen to the whispers of our inner wisdom, and it's through this process that we become the best version of ourselves. Embrace silence and let it guide you toward a deeper understanding of who you truly are. Lee. Number 3. Silence restores health. In today's fast-paced, high-stress world, silence has become a rare yet powerful tool for restoring our health, both mentally and physically. The constant barrage of demands, information, and stimuli can quickly overwhelm us, leading to burnout and emotional exhaustion. Modern life often pulls us in so many directions that we forget the importance of stillness. Yet silence offers a much-needed reprieve, a sanctuary from the chaos that surrounds us. In moments of silence, we give our minds the chance to rest and reset, allowing our emotional balance to be restored. It's in this stillness that we can regain clarity, peace, and focus. The pressures of daily life can make it easy to overlook how crucial these moments of quiet can be. Yet when we embrace silence, we create the space for renewal. Denzel Washington, in his motivational speeches, often touches on the importance of mental health, particularly in a world that demands constant action. He reminds us that we must take care of ourselves to truly thrive. Silence, in many ways, acts as a remedy for the mental strains we face. As Washington says, taking time to step back and breathe can help us reclaim our sense of peace amidst the noise. This is where the principles of modern Stoicism come into play. By recognizing our need for rest and quiet, we can protect our mental and emotional well-being. Instead of running on empty, we can choose to pause, embrace silence, and let it restore us. This simple practice allows us to recharge, not only physically but emotionally and mentally, giving us the resilience we need to face life's ongoing challenges. The value of silence is particularly relevant today, where many feel the relentless pressure to be always on, always connected, and always reacting. The constant noise, whether it's in the form of emails, social media, or even casual conversations, can easily drain our energy and focus. But when we carve out time for silence, we allow ourselves to breathe, to think, and to gain perspective. It's not just about doing nothing, it's about consciously choosing to step away from the noise to restore our inner peace. Think about the last time you took a moment of quiet for yourself. Didn't it feel like your mind could finally breathe? How often do you give yourself the opportunity to just be still, without the pressures of expectations or external demands? If you haven't made time for silence, this could be the key to rejuvenating your emotional health and mental clarity. The ancient Stoics knew the importance of moments of quiet contemplation. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, advises us to stop and reflect, and you'll see that you'll make better decisions, stay healthier, and learn how to make the most of every moment. These timeless words resonate deeply in modern life, where our constant busyness often robs us of the chance to reconnect with ourselves. Silence helps us do just that. It restores our health by enabling us to recalibrate, both mentally and physically. In those moments of stillness, we find clarity, and our minds are better able to process and make sense of the world around us. When we give ourselves permission to pause, we open up space for the deep healing our minds and bodies crave. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of life, whether it's chasing career goals, managing personal relationships, or keeping up with the demands of technology. But taking time for silence is not just a luxury, it's an essential practice for maintaining well-being. Think about the way your body feels after a stressful day, when your mind is racing and your emotions are all over the place. Now picture a moment when you simply close your eyes and take a deep breath in silence. That stillness creates a reset button for your nervous system, allowing your body to relax, your heart rate to slow, and your mind to clear. In those precious seconds of silence, you can find peace amidst the chaos. This act of intentional quiet gives you the space to reflect, restore, and return to a state of balance. The practice of silence in our daily routines isn't just about avoiding external noise. It's about cultivating inner peace. As Denzel Washington points out, we live in a world that never stops moving, and if we don't actively take the time to pause, we risk losing our ability to cope with the emotional demands of life. But silence helps us take back control. It gives us the power to recharge and replenish ourselves so we can keep moving forward. By recognizing the value of silence, we align ourselves with the principles of modern Stoicism, which teach us that self-care, emotional resilience, and mental clarity are fundamental to leading a fulfilling life. The next time you find yourself feeling overwhelmed or burned out, try to create space for silence. Take a moment to step away from the noise, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to reset. In these quiet moments, you can restore your health, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And as you embrace the quiet, remember the Stoic wisdom that silence is not only about removing external distractions, but also about nurturing inner peace. When you make silence a regular part of your routine, you'll discover that it's not just a retreat from the world. It's a powerful source of strength, resilience, and well-being. In a world that demands constant movement, silence is the antidote that helps you stay grounded and restore your energy. By taking time to pause, reflect, and recharge, you can approach life's challenges with renewed focus, balance, and emotional clarity. If you found this video helpful, share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree that silence sparks creativity and promotes self-awareness? Let us know by commenting creativity or self-awareness if you agree, or commenting else if you have a different answer. And don't forget to watch until the end. There's a special surprise waiting for you that you won't want to miss. Number 4. Silence strengthens resilience. Silence holds incredible power in moments of adversity, providing the resilience needed to stay grounded and navigate through life's challenges with clarity. When facing hardships, the natural instinct is often to react impulsively or panic. However, it is precisely in these critical moments that silence becomes a powerful tool, enabling us to pause, breathe, and respond from a place of calm. Denzel Washington emphasizes that true strength is forged in quiet, still moments. By choosing silence, we create space to step back from emotional reactions, think intentionally, and make decisions rooted in clarity rather than fear. Silence, therefore, becomes an emotional strength, allowing us to approach difficult situations with poise and confidence. This idea of silence as a tool for building resilience aligns deeply with modern Stoicism. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we respond to them. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In those moments of difficulty, the ability to quiet our minds and pause before reacting enables us to respond from a place of strength and clarity. Modern Stoicism teaches us that resilience is built through maintaining inner tranquility, regardless of the external storm. Silence, then, is not just the absence of sound, but the presence of self-control. It enables us to endure life's hardships without being overwhelmed by emotional reactions. True strength during adversity comes from silence's ability to reconnect us with our inner power. In those quiet moments, we hear our inner voice, reminding us that we have the capacity to overcome challenges. Often, external pressures and expectations drown out this voice, but silence brings us back to our resilience. It's a form of self-assurance, reminding us that even in adversity, we are capable of moving forward with grace and wisdom. Silence helps us reconnect with our ability to choose our responses and shape our circumstances, no matter how difficult they may seem. In modern life, the pressure to act quickly and keep up with a fast-paced world can cloud our judgment, leading us to make rash decisions. With constant stimulation around us, it's easy to lose the space to reflect. However, by embracing silence, we can create the mental clarity needed to approach life's challenges thoughtfully. Pausing in silence, especially in times of crisis, allows us to take a step back and respond more composedly. This practice of reflection is at the heart of modern Stoicism, which emphasizes cultivating resilience through mindfulness and self-discipline. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The resilience we develop in tough times comes from our ability to maintain inner peace, and silence is key to that process. Silence also serves as a tool for self-reflection. It provides the opportunity to examine situations and emotional responses with a clear mind. In moments of difficulty, silence allows us to consider different perspectives and gain deeper insights into the root causes of our stress. This reflective practice empowers us to make decisions grounded in wisdom, not fear. By using silence to process our emotions, we can act with confidence, understanding, and clarity. Importantly, silence in adversity isn't about avoiding problems or withdrawing from challenges. It's about creating the space needed to approach those challenges with a clear mind and steady heart. Choosing silence helps us focus on what is within our control, our thoughts, reactions, and actions, while letting go of what we cannot change. In this way, silence strengthens our ability to confront life's obstacles with calmness and resilience. In today's noisy world, where every moment is filled with distractions, embracing silence is an act of strength. Silence centers us, allowing us to reconnect with our inner power and build the emotional resilience needed to face life's challenges with grace. As the Stoics taught, true power lies not in external circumstances but in our ability to control our internal state. Silence provides the opportunity to master our thoughts, reflect deeply, and respond to adversity in ways that align with our highest values. In this sense, silence becomes a pathway to living a more resilient, fulfilled life. So, when life feels overwhelming, remember the power of silence. It is the calm center that allows us to weather the storm and emerge stronger. As we wrap up, remember that silence is not just the absence of noise. It is a powerful tool for personal growth and inner peace. As Denzel Washington wisely advises, know when to be silent. Silence is the most powerful thing you can have. In our noisy world, taking time to embrace silence can help you reconnect with yourself, find clarity, and face challenges with a calm and focused mind. How can you incorporate more silence into your daily routine? How has silence helped you in moments of decision or stress? I encourage you to reflect on this, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue this journey together. Remember, the path to personal growth and happiness starts with the quiet moments. Stay stoic and keep growing. Don't forget to subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more insights on how to live a life of purpose and peace.